Hey everybody, happy Friday. This is Overpass Live. My name is Eric and I make apps. This is the weekly live stream where we talk about whatever we want to talk about, and I've done no preparation about what we're going to talk about. This is kind of a thing. It's actually not really a benefit because, okay, so I don't know if you guys watched Steve P. Young's live stream. It was on an hour earlier today, so I was able to watch some of it, and it was really good today. I don't know if you guys caught any of that. You probably catch it on the replay. He had a really good guess and all that kind of stuff. So, but we're gonna try our best. I think it might still be going on. So, but anyway, it was a really good, really good live stream. I was really enjoying watching that. So, yeah. So every week we do the live stream. We just chat about whatever. And this week has been just another week. It's strange in lockdown how quickly things are going by. Like it used to be, like a first week of lockdown, it felt like a month. It felt like God, we're just going crazy, stir crazy. And now it just seems like things are just rolling past, right? I got a new client this week. Well, actually, no. I got a client where I gave a quote and I said it's going to cost whatever certain amount, and they said, well, we'll pay you more if you can get it done in a really fast amount of time. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't got a lot of videos done this week. It's just been like all kinds of stuff going on. It's just everything is just move, which is still kind of cool. So anyway, let's see who's here in the live stream. We've got MD. First question for you. Eric. Let me highlight it. Okay, wait. First of all, can you guys hear me okay? Let's just make sure you guys can actually hear what I'm saying. Hey, Eric, question for you. How do you deal with people spamming your app with fake negative reviews? I don't know if there's a way of actually doing it. I don't see a way that you can prevent it from happening. It's one of those things you don't really have, especially on the Google Play side. I mean, on either side, you can't remove reviews because otherwise we'd remove all the bad reviews. So I have had that for a while, and it's difficult to know. It's really difficult to know whether or not it's, if it is your app's just becoming more popular and people are using it for whatever reason they don't like it, or if they're genuinely trying to sabotage it. So I would have things that would be like, this app has a virus. That was something that came up a lot, right? Just this, and there's nothing, that was the most infuriating to me. Like if they said this sucks, then I was like, okay, well, it's harsh criticism, but it's, what can you say to that? Maybe it does. But when they would say stuff like, this app is spying on you, this app has a virus, that kind of stuff, which was genuinely untrue, right? It was like, why would there be a virus? So in those kind of situations, you have to respond to them all, right? And I've seen people respond to reviews by saying, well, lots of other people like it, and they're like defensive almost. And we just say, I'm sorry you didn't like it. Lots of people do, which is really all that you can do. And so I wish there was some way to do it, but I've never seen a way of doing it. I've never contacted Google Play on it because, like you said, because you say here, MD, that I know they're fake because they come in waves, using made up usernames and claim things that are completely wrong. I haven't seen them come in waves. I've seen them come in but sporadically, and it's difficult to know who they're coming from. So it's, I wish I had an answer for you. I don't know. All I know is that if you could get more good reviews than bad reviews, that would be a good thing. And I think you should definitely respond to all those, because you know what it's like if you go onto anything and you see bad reviews. A lot of times that's what you get attracted to. You're thinking, well, what's so bad about this? And if somebody says, I didn't like it, and you're like, well, sorry, or you were able to say something like, yes, we've made a lot of changes to it and fixed a lot of issues, of a lot of the early teething issues, or something like that, just to show the users that are looking into that your app is still worth trying and that your developer is looking into it. Don't get defensive. Don't try to call them out because, and it depends on how many you get. I mean, if it's like an onslaught where you have far more than you have good reviews, then I would try to bring it up to Google Play, try to report it somehow and say you don't understand why it's happening. But yeah, I mean, if you're absolutely sure that they're fake, and bad reviews are something that they're infiltrating every single. I mean, they're making everything wrong. For me, I listen to Audible all the time, so I've had an Audible subscription since 2003 like the 2 books a month. So I've got thousands of books, whatever, however many it was, do the math. But so I've got like, well, at least probably about 1,000 books on Audible. And now when I go look at Audible, they're really bad about the spam. I mean, they're just, you would see 50 reviews, 50 5-star reviews in the single day and nothing afterwards. And it's just auto-generated, and it just ruins the market. So definitely, if you can report that, do it. But again, I wouldn't even know where to report it. Muhammad Ahmed is here. Hey, I'm Muhammad. How are you? AP404. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Billy. Hey, Billy, what's popping? Dude, man, nothing's popping, man. What's popping with you, yo? Rodrigo, we're all waiting for Eric. Yeah, thanks very much. Okay, so what can we say about backlinks and ASO for Google Play? Does it work/help? Do links from social networks count? Yes, they do. At least that was the Google Play. You find documentations about it. They will tell you that yeah, backlinks do make a difference with Google Play accounts. How big a difference did they make? I don't know, but you definitely do. I've seen it where I started ranking for things that were not in that were not even in the application description or in the reviews, but things just kind of come out there. But when you do the backlinks, though, you don't want to do it like you would normally do it, like download from Google Play. You don't want Google Play to be inside the link. You want it to be your keyword there, which is one of the advice that I got from someone who worked at Google. He said, like, if you're gonna, like, mine was a spy app. So if you wanted to say spy app would be the link, but the href would go to the Google Play page. So and it used to be that I would have all of my backlinks go, or all of my links go to my app, because I don't know if they're Android or iPhone users. So I would have it go to my website rather than to the apps. But then towards the end, I was like, screw it, we're just gonna make everything go to Google Play. Let's see. Amir Tahir says, anyone here? Hello. Dude, man, we're all alone. We're all alone, Amar, sorry. Hey, James, how's it going? Let's see. Aman Saksa says, how are you dealing with ad serving restrictions on AdMob account? Do you face this a problem? If yes, how do you get rid of it? So you just have to make the changes that they want and then appeal it, right? And so right now, I don't know if you guys like this. I've got a lot of unpublished applications. Like, I've unpublished them, but for some reason you can't, like, remove the ads. You can't unpublish the ads. So I keep getting that email from Google Play saying ad serving has been restricted in your application. And then I look at it, and it's like an app that I removed like 2 years ago. But for some reason they just keep sending that stuff through, which is bad. What I would do is just make sure that you go through and just make sure that you go through and make whatever change it is. Or even if you, like, just keep appealing it, right? Because it's such a simple thing to appeal an AdMob restriction, like, once you make the change to the application, right? As long as it's not anything drastic. Ayush Pai, hey, how's it going? Keegan Ido, hey, Eric, hey, how's it going? Keegan. Ayush Pai, sorry, says, hey, Eric, I just released my first app on Google Play Store, and I'm in the 10th grade. Huh, wow. Dude, you should be thinking about girls. No, I'm just kidding. That's I'm just joking. You should, yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. Sorry, joke. Do you think you could take a look at it? Yeah, absolutely. Currently, I'm ranking 14, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Ranking 14 for what keyword? Let's have a look. We're gonna have a look at Google Play. Oh yeah, what is the it's called image to ASCII. All right, so we're gonna have a look at this here in a second. Let's see. You guys can hear me, right? Okay. Image to ASCII. Okay, so you're ranking 14 for your keyword. Ayush, which one is it? Is it under your own name? Let's see. Oh, good. Oh, goodness me, that's wrong. It's the wrong camera. Let's see. Image to ASCII. Yeah, I can't see it. Which one is it? We'll come back to that one. And obviously we're going for the wrong camera. Oh yeah, if you for those of you guys joining us, again, I really appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button. We've already got the first unlike. Oh man, hey, everybody hit the thumbs down button. Let's see what that does. Just lay into me, right? If I start to cry, though, stop. Give me the thumbs up. Shivam Pandy's here. Hey Shivam, how's it going? Ahmed Muhammad. Hey Eric, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you very much. Yeah, doing really good. I mean, I'm not really leaving the flat, but it's, you know, I mean, I've been going for walks at night, like a mountain man, just going out for a walk. I need a walking stick. Let's see. Roman Sisek. Hey, Eric, sometimes I get bad reviews that disappear within a couple of minutes before I'm able to reply. Only get the notification from the Play console. Yeah, I've noticed that. Sometimes, I mean, you can get them to read. You guys actually are hitting the down button, the dislike button. Thanks. No, so oh, hey, and if anybody says, why do you get so many dislikes? Let's make something up. Let's say Eric just went crazy. He just started saying all these racial slurs or something like that. Eric just went nuts. He just like, anyway. So yeah, no, I've had this happen before too, and I think it's, you know what, like, replying to reviews is important because you can sometimes just by replying to review you can get them to change the review from a bad one to a good one. But that's in my situation. That's the only time that's really ever happened. I've never seen anything completely disappear. But it could be that they rethought it. Maybe it was a fake account that got removed. It could have been anything. But I mean, I wouldn't expect it to happen that quickly. Keegan says, "Are you making PWAs now? And what do you think of Vue.js?" We've done some PWA. So I did the video this week where I talked about the PWA, one of the PWA stores that I spoke to, and I want to get him, Matt Ruddy. I want to get him on the video. Because I was asking all the same kind of questions that were there. Like, what about the monetization problem? What about Safari support? There's so many things that have advanced in the PWA side since then. And the idea of a PWA app store was, the reason it attracted me was because it goes to the browser. So if somebody's searching for it, then yeah, you got SEO, you got all that kind of stuff. But if somebody's just browsing around looking for something to do, then yeah, an app store is going to be the way that they find it, right? So but like we've done 4 PWAs, but a lot of times they happen so in 3 of those occasions they happen to coincide with the Ionic application. So we did an Ionic and released a PWA at the same time, which was ideal way to use Ionic. The other time it had to do with the fact that Apple just wasn't accepting the application. So it was for a client, and Apple was like, they would just, it was budge, but they wouldn't budge. And then the only alternative was to go to a PWA. And the downside, I mean, and that was when we didn't use Ionic, we used React Native. We didn't even use React. So we had to rewrite a lot of it just in order to get that PWA. So in terms of Vue.js, I've seen it. But I don't know a whole lot about it. Like I could do the basics in it. Like when I say I can do the basics in it, like I've never started a Vue.js project. I've been like, my developers work on Vue.js and I need to go tweak something, and I can see the way the format and everything. So it's like, yeah, it's not really. I'm a label changer when it comes to Vue.js, Keegan. Sorry about that. Let's see. Shabash Seeker says, Play Store is getting too unfair these days. The algorithm takes total control of everything in there. They keep down apps without reason. SMH. Okay, SMH means what? So I'm really bad with not algorithms. I'm really bad with anagrams. No. I don't even remember the term for it anymore. Anyway. So yeah, that's true. I mean, that's why I talked about in the video this week. I talked about the tyranny of the Play Store and the App Store, and it is so much harder now than it was before. Especially, when you I'm getting messages from people saying all I did was mention the coronavirus in the description, and suspended, right? It's like there's no messing around with it, right? Which, like a normal person would give us a warning. Somebody looking at it would have said, okay, this is obviously not the way that they intended this to be used. They're not trying to capitalize on it or whatever. But the algorithm doesn't know. The algorithm is just the way that it works. Now, there's so many apps that go onto the Play Store that they can't possibly have somebody check them all over, the same way they can't have somebody check over every YouTube video, or every Facebook can't have everybody checking over every Facebook post, because there's just so much content going in there. But I would hope, I would imagine that there'd be somebody just to check this stuff over, right? It would be like like when you appeal it, then it does get reviewed by somebody, and usually they're pretty quick about it. So I mean, my whole thing is, and somebody was saying this before, so they said, so I got a message from somebody said their app was suspended because they mentioned the coronavirus in the description, but it wasn't coronavirus application related in any way. They sort of mentioned it, and they were suspended. And they said, well, maybe I'll wait till all this passes over and then appeal it. And I said, appeal it now, because that seems like, once you get somebody to look it over, it probably would be okay. But I agree with you. It is getting too bad. So, Theo Taylor, what do you use to build your PWAs? Ionic, right? It's just the Ionic framework, except for the one we did with React. We have one that we did in React, but most of the time it's Ionic, just because it's easier to do it. It's easy to convert. I mean, you use the same code and everything like that. So, but that's what we use. There may be a better tool out there. So if you know of a better tool, I'd be really interested to hear it. Abe Paptani, have you changed your streaming software? Yeah, I used to use the one that everybody used. Right now I use Ecamm Live. So I used to use the open source one. Just having one of those days, man. I've been in meetings all day long, and now my brain is fried. But yeah, I used to use God, you guys know. I use Ecamm Live now, and a lot of people are using it. It's much nicer. You got a much nicer interface. It's Mac only, so that's one of the things if you're a Windows user. But you can see, like, showing the comments on the screen and everything is a big benefit. But yeah, I have Appavelli. Happy Friday! Hey, happy Friday, man. Happy Friday, Appavelli. Let's see. Zero Supremacy says, "What's up, app gangsters?" Oh, I can't do that anymore. What's up, app gangsters? Zero Supremacy and I, we're just hanging. Let's see. Can I send the link to it? Oh, I don't think you can. You can't send the link through. For some reason, YouTube blocks it. So just tell me the name of the developer name, and we'll have a look at it, Ayush. Let's see. Matthew says, my app is making at least $2 a day now. It used to make $1. Nice. Well, you're onto something. You're onto like you struck a gold vein, right? Now you're on the right track. You just need to keep, how did you go from 2 to 1? Like you could convince yourself that you've plateaued. That's as high as you could go, but that's not necessarily the case. Especially if you're not getting it out in front of people. That's great news, though. I mean, I know it's a small win, but it's still, you doubled it, and then all you have to do is double it like 30 more times, and you'll be really good. Michael Shuja says, hey Eric, how are you? I'm good, very good, thank you. Found that the Play console says I lose about 50 users with every update I push, but they are listed as returning users elsewhere in the analytics. Are you familiar with this? No, I haven't seen that at all. Have the rest of you guys seen that? I guess I haven't. I probably haven't looked. Ahmed Mohammed says, how to get good keywords to rank high at Google Play. That is a long, complicated topic. I mean, you have to play around with a lot of different things. I wish, there's lots of tools you can use. There's like Sensor Tower, mobile action, and all that kind of stuff. When it comes to and it's always changing, right? Another thing you could do, the really simple thing that a lot of people do, like if you don't have the money, just go to the auto suggest on Google Play. Like you type in whatever your seed keyword is, and you'll see other stuff come out. Like let's go up to and this is just like the very basic stuff. Like there's really advanced stuff that, you know, again, like you know, people who are generally dedicated to ASO, like App Masters, or, you know, over on their channel, and other stuff. You know, they'll give a lot more details on this. But like as a very basic, you could go. I don't mean to be getting so many shout outs. I'm like, you know, but but that was just kind of what I'm thinking. But so let's have a look at my screen. So like if my seed keyword was, let's say, planets, like I have a planet learning game, planets. So then I would type in planet, and I would see, you know, what people are searching on. I would see Planet Finder, Planet Rock, Planet Talk, Planet whatever, right? I could do Planet A, App Store, whatever. I could do, you know, a B, Bomber, Builder, C. So like what are people actually searching for based on your another keywords? So another thing that I do, and I know this is like not necessarily scientific, so like just look at a thesaurus, right? If you're not ranking well for something because it's too crowded, is there some other word that you could do with that? Just looking at something that's synonymous but popular enough that it would actually, you know, popular enough that people would actually use it, like in regular conversation. And I need to fix this camera. I'm looking at the wrong camera over here. But let's see. Zero supremacy, shaking my head. Is that because I did the gangster thing? Well, you know. Let's see. Byron Lovelace. What books do you have on your bookshelf? Can you see my bookshelf right there? So I've got, you know, it's mainly like romance novels. It's romance novels and cowboy books. Nah, I'm just kidding. I've got like mostly business books. The only computer books I still have, like physical computer books I have, are Design Patterns, which is the Headspace Design Patterns, which is the best book on design patterns. Let me see if I can find that one. Where is it? And okay, let's go technical. Let me go grab a couple books off the bookshelf. I got 2 bookshelves. All right, so here's a really good one on Google Analytics called Google Analytics Breakthrough. So if you're like optimizing your website, you put a Google Analytics in it. It doesn't really work so much for Firebase Analytics, but and it's a little bit out of date because, you know, as soon as I bought this, within a few months, the analytics framework changed. So for me, I'm all Kindle. I'm usually all Kindle when it goes to technical books, unless it's something that you just want to thumb through, which is that's the kind of thing. Oh, this one sucks. I've also got an Android one, but this is like, if you guys are interested in learning design patterns, you know, for some reason when I was introduced to design patterns, and I'm talking about the Gang of 4 design patterns back in the we're talking about 2007, 2006, 2007. I had such trouble like learning it. Somebody said, you gotta try this book, Head First Design Patterns. Again, it's a really good one for a physical copy, and that's a really good book on design patterns. So if you've never used them, it's that next level stuff where you're thinking about why, you know, you talk about loose coupling and why you would actually do things that way. And when you're a junior developer, you're just like, dude, it works. Why would I bother doing anything different? But that was it. So in terms of like, I've got a lot of sales books, marketing books, copywriting, although I don't do very much of that. You know, self-improvement. Yeah, there's lots. I got books on meditation, even though I don't meditate as much as I should. So there's quite a lot. So in terms of some of my favorite books that I'm reading at the moment, I don't know if you guys read Jordan Belfort's Way of the Wolf, you know, the Wolf of Wall Street stuff. I really enjoyed that one. That was one of the few where I have the Kindle version, the hardcover, and the audio version. It's one of those, like, I listened to the audiobook first, and then that did that. Another one up where so sometimes there's a book that you'll get the audiobook, and then as you're listening to it, you realize you want to spend more time actually researching, like you want those diagrams and everything. And that was like, there's some like that. There's one called Story Brand, which is really good. It talks about, you know, it's more of like a copywriting, like how you should organize your website and everything like that. I thought that was a very good one. What else? And then there's the classics, you know, David Allen's Getting Things Done. Tom Peters is an author that I really like on the business side of things. And yeah, there's loads. Yeah, we'll have to do that one of these days. We'll have to just go through and talk about some of the, because there's some books that I'm like, yeah, this is like, I go to this one all the time, and there's some that it's like just kind of embarrassing that it's there. Oh, and then I got all these books on masculinity and like the Way of the Superior Man by David Data and all this kind of stuff, which is sort of like a recent interest of mine. But yeah, that's that kind of stuff. Let's see. Rams Maheshwari says, what's the best way to get millionaire in 2020 using app/web dev, even if there are millions of websites and apps already available in the market? Okay, I'll tell you. I mean, no, it's, dude, if I know, I'd be it. If I knew it, I would be a millionaire, but I'm not. I think it's just, you have to see, when you talk about creating something with a monetary, I mean, there's nothing wrong with creating something because you want to make money, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But if that's the guiding thing, then you're going to start looking at what other people are doing and just copy them. And you're thinking, oh, obviously that's what's worse. I'll just do the same thing. Oh, obviously that guy's making all this money on YouTube. I'll just do videos like him. That guy's, those people, that company's making all this money through their app. I'll just do a reskin. That person sold an ebook for whatever, and I'll just do one like that. And everybody floods into it, and it just doesn't work because you're not being creative and you're not producing something of value. And I think that's really, I mean, okay, so earlier Matthew says he went from $1 a day to $2 a day, right? Which is a start, right? He's creating something and he's putting something out there, and now he's trying to figure out how do you monetize it and all this kind of stuff. And it's a very difficult question to answer. OBS, that's what it is. I don't know why I was trying. I knew it was an O. For some reason I forgot it was a. Yeah, OBS was the live streaming software that I was using. Can we still make an app viral in 2020 without spending a single dollar on marketing if the app idea is good and useful? You're going to need to get it in front of somebody, and you're going to have to hope that person gives it to somebody else, right? And or it's going to start to pick up enough momentum that you start to rank well for it, or people are searching for it, or it's going to be featured somewhere. So the big thing here, Ram, is to get it in front of people, and that's that's the same with every product and everything. Since time began, right? The Play Store is crowded. It used to be you could be able to put something there, and there's a good chance that you'd be featured, right? Especially in the very, very early days. But now, it goes and it just, it's just way in the back. It's on a back shelf somewhere in this massive warehouse, and you got to think, how do I get people to find it or get it in front of people so that they know to go looking for it? And that's going to be the hard thing. So yeah, it definitely is. It is still, it's possible to do it, but it's just, if you have advertising, what you're doing is you're bringing that up in front of the right people. And that's where the Play Store is huge, and it's got hundreds of apps, got thousands of apps going in there every day. So how are you going to be found? This is really the question you should be asking. Let's see, and then Matthew, can we see the name of your app? Let's see. Yeah, Matthew, let's see the name of your app, because Ram's looking for app ideas. So you could, okay, Ayush Pi apps. Okay, let's have a look at this. I'm going to show. Let's see, we'll go back to the desktop. Why am I not seeing this? Maybe put it in quotes. Sorry, we'll get there. Oops. Ayush, is it available in the UK? I mean, let's go back to, what was the name of the application itself? Oh, sorry, wrong microphone. Oh, hey guys, what's up? All right, that's great. It's called Image to ASCII. Let's see if we can do this in quotes. Okay, so we see this one here. Yeah, I don't see it here at all. Are you sure it's available in the UK? Am I looking at the right? Is it this one? Let's see. Yeah, Ayush. I can't find it. Yo, Cortfuck. Hey, how's it going? Hello. How are your apps doing these days? They're really slow. They're just, every day it's just, I check in my AdMob revenue. It's like 22 pounds a day. It's like, it's really, things are going, they're just sort of, ugh. But, working on it. Let's see. Theo Taylor says, we use Expo for our PWAs for the same reason you use Ionic. We easily share code between web, Android, and iOS. All of the assets for the PWA are generated for us, so it's pretty handy. Ooh, let's have a look at that. What is Expo? Again, this is something that Expo PWA. Ooh, it's on GitHub. Let's have a look. Do you hate it when you go to the NPM package when there's like no information there? Expo because by Wabe, I mean, you have to find the GitHub. Cool. So Expo, a package created, universal solution created PWSX locally with optional native acceleration for Sharp CLI. PWA. Am I looking at the right one? It would be this one, right? You can always just say, okay, cool. Wasabi, hey, great channel. Thanks, Wasabi. Appreciate it. Let's see. How do you manage fake and spam reviews? Again, that's like the first question we had. It's I wish I knew. All I know is you should respond to every review, especially the bad ones, right? If somebody says this sucks, right? All you can say is I'm really sorry you didn't like it. We're making changes. All that stuff, right? You really. It's more the ratings that's going to bring you down, because the reviews themselves, you can respond to those, and if somebody's going to go look at those reviews, then at least you could show that you're doing it. And I think it's always listen to everybody and then show. I mean, you think about if you were going to go download an application and you saw one saying this sucks. What would you think? Oh well, obviously it sucks. Or would you think, oh, obviously this guy doesn't like it. If there was a response saying, we're making lots of changes, we hope to bring you around, or something like that. And even then, sometimes when you get those bad reviews, again, if it's fake, there's nothing really you can do about it. But if it's a real person and it's a really bad review, then at least you could possibly get them to change it. And anyway, everyone, thanks everyone for the thumbs up and the thumbs down. It's like, actually, now I'm looking at the thumbs down. I don't like the way that looks. I don't know why I said that earlier. Those guys just joining us. I said, give me a thumbs down. Let's see what happens. Ragnarsson says, Eric, do you think another Playbidden comes in June 2020? I don't know. Playbidden, what is that? Playbidden? Is that? I'm not familiar with that. I'm not sure what that term means. And I googled it and I can't find anything. Let's see. Okay, cool. SMA shaking my head. Oh God. All right. I need to. Yeah. I didn't know IRL. I didn't know IDK. I didn't know IDK. IDK'd IDK. Muhammad Ahmed says, question mark. Did I miss something? Oh, sorry. Rohit says, hey Eric. At last, a different time than Steve. Yeah, the biggest benefit for that? I could watch Steve's live stream too. It was pretty cool. He had, what do you have? God, what was his name? It was like a game developer, and they were talking about ASO for games and everything like that. I thought it was really interesting. Very smart. But yeah, that was kind of cool. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, the GOF design pattern, the game of 4 design patterns. I know what that one means. See, I always assume it's a technical thing when you say something like IRL or SMH. Let's see. Are there any services to prevent ad fraud in my app, and do I need them? I'm not sure. When we talk about ad fraud, what are we talking about? Ad fraud, like talking about like people self-clicking ads, because you shouldn't really get anything coming from the the network coming to it, right? And that's one of the reasons why the app as.txt is there, is to prevent, I mean, it's part of that, right? But none that I'm aware of. If anybody else knows of any, please put it in the comments. So, can you look at Wasabi and Play Store and give feedback? The ASO. All right, so let's have a look here. Again, it's just be my my opinion, and let's have a look. Wasabi. Sorry. Ooh, in my throat. And see. Wasabi, there you go. It's the same icon. That's easy. All right. Wasabi, auto reply, schedule messages, task notes. Cool. I like the screenshots. Simple universal all-in-one chat manager. Sorry. I keep looking to the camera, but it's this. This is one of those things. Before I said a live stream, I look like I'm. Let's see. Organize your chats in your inbox. Your rules. Turn messages into notes. Schedule messages to family and friends without waiving your privacy and security. Create broadcast lists for your clients. Connects to chats in your cloud. Does it connect like with other chats? So schedule messages and auto reply for WhatsApp Business, Viber, auto send messages. See, I think that's really cool. I would think you should put more of that in the screenshots about integrating with WhatsApp and WhatsApp Business and everything. Although having it in a description is good for searchability, because if somebody's searching for it, you definitely don't want it to be text in an image. I see you've got 431 reviews. The 1 stars are not very good. I purchased this item. So let's have a look at the 1-star review, which comes up first, which is not great. I have purchased this, but when I go back to the schedule the messages with the files, it's showing this option available in premium. I've already paid, but still not getting the premium service. Totally fake app. Think before you try the version, because once you do this, see, that's like a very toxic review. This kind of thing is something that you definitely need to respond to, which you have. You emailed support, but with an empty email. Didn't describe you have an issue, and it's been less than a few hours between your email to... See, this is a very defensive response. Good job giving support time to reply. There are plenty of videos, reviews, support to make you see that Wasabi is not fake, but it is. See, I know it's painful. I know it's painful to get that somebody said this is fake, but I mean, you're really... they took the time to leave a review, and you could have... you could still go through and respond to that. I would say, oh, absolutely, we got an email through from you, but unfortunately, you're basically saying that he didn't do anything, and maybe he didn't. Maybe he's a moron. Maybe sorry, but maybe that's the case. But you have to assume that he purchased it, and you can always get you'd always say please email back again. Where we definitely want you to have the best support experience possible, right? Because they are a guest in your house, and they're basically they're not respecting you. I totally get that, but there's no reason to do that. Here we go. When looking for premium officer, it tends to freeze the point of respond, leading hello Karen, following up with your review, please download the new version in the Play Store. See, perfect. In theory, great app, but like all others, what's that? Following up with the review, please download the new version available in the store. Yeah, I mean that would be something just to say, yeah, we've done it. But this is just my opinion. This is again, I think it looks good, Wasabi, but it's those bad reviews, just to show that you've this defensive review, I think is again, but it all depends on whether or not people get to this point. When you talk about the ASO point of view, is it showing up in search? So if I was to say, let's do WhatsApp schedule. There you go, your third. So yeah, I mean it's I'm trying to think what people would actually search for. But that's just my opinion. Again, that's my opinion, and some of you guys might disagree. But like you could be right, or you could be, if you go in, I when it comes to this kind of stuff, I've had reviewers just be totally nasty to me. I've had YouTube comments that are just completely nasty to me, and there've been times where I sit there and I stew about it, thinking, well, they don't, what do they expect? Whatever, and then I start thinking about to respond, but in the end, it doesn't really help. It's not gonna, you're not gonna turn them. You're gonna say, what you want to do is say, look, like for me, I'm like, if he's genuinely unhappy, say, we'll refund your money. It's fine. It's like, it's not worth having that kind of stress. It's not worth the stress that this guy apparently has, right? Or just say, look, we got an email through, but it was blank, and please send it again. We definitely want to help you, right? And just be like, you're there to help them. And Wasabi, you might disagree with me on that. But let's see. Ram says, Overpass apps and coding phase are my favorite YouTube channels. Oh, thanks. Because these two people are providing me with a real path to success and not wasting my time like other YouTubers just talking about code. Talking about code is important. In fact, a lot of people say that I should talk more about code. And I appreciate that, Ram. But I get, like, one of the comments I get a lot is, all you do is talk, yak, right? Which is just like a dagger to the heart. But, yeah, so... Hey, there's like 4 thumbs down on this video, which is what we're doing. MD says, not sure if you already answered this, but how do you deal with people spamming your apps with fake and negative ratings? Yeah, we did. We talked about that in the beginning. Let's see. Shivam says, write it like this. Ayush Pi abs. Oh, okay. Let's do that. So I'm going to do this. If you guys could hear the sirens outside. I'm still not getting that. So Ayush, are you? I'm still not getting anything. Are you sure it's showing up? Is it like restricted by country? Because yeah. So Wasabi says, what apps are you working on now these days? Mostly it's client stuff. So I've got, I just had another client project coming on Friday, which I haven't given, well, yeah, I've been toying with that. Is I might just do this app myself because that's get done really quickly. But then I realized, actually, I'm going to need to get some developers in on this, and so it may or may not actually go, well, it may or may not actually go forward because it has to be turned around very, very quickly, and we may not be in a position to do that. But for me, mostly it's, Wasabi, mostly it's client applications. I need to get back to doing my own apps, which I say every week, the same way I say I should do more sit-ups. But, Ram says there's a reserved place in hell for those dislikers. No, actually, I said go ahead and dislike the video. You guys have my permission. You can like or dislike. It's okay, right? I don't know if you dislike, if you could actually go back and change it to like or anything like that, but it's fun. Let's see. Rohit says his name was Joseph Kim. Oh yeah, Joseph Kim on the, that was really, he was really good, wasn't he? And like, that's that. The nice thing about Steve doing his thing earlier, and I know it's like he's got to arrange time with his guests and everything like that, but it was nice to be able to watch it. Matthew says, how much do you guys charge to remove ads? I used to charge $3.99, but now I charge $2.99. Yeah, remove ads is one of those things. It's like, you think it would be worth people's time to remove the ads, but most of the time they don't remove them. But if you add functionality, then they definitely will, right? In fact, even when I make an in-app purchase, it's usually the remove ads part which I'm the least interested in, right? Because I think I have the same user experience as the majority of users by seeing ads there, so I'm not that worried about it, unless it's just so bad that I can't even play the game. But then I more than likely just uninstall it. So so that's one of those things, like the low value type of thing for that. So I would definitely play around with that. When I was doing it, I think that was doing that like at $1.99 to remove ads. And again, I'd remove ads, and then so I'd have my paid app and which had everything in it, and then I had my free application with the in-app purchases, so all the different features, and all the other features would get purchased, but remove ads, not that much. It was like not worth people's time to actually do it, which I thought was interesting. So the nice thing is I can still make money from the ads, but then I had to think about like where to put the new features, because with the ads still there, I think that I did like that got a little bit complicated. Theo says, I've sent your support an email just asking what strategy you use to increase your downloads, and they told me to tune into the live stream, hoping you would help me out. Okay, cool. Well, that's that's great. Yeah, so we do that. Sometimes people want us to look at like specifically at their own stuff, Theo. And it just, so we sent like a consultancy link, like if you want me to actually talk one-on-one with you. But if you have any specific, so there's lots of strategies, there's like, and we talked about them over the years in different videos, but here's some things that if you haven't thought about these yet. First of all, the normal ASO stuff, like making sure that your keywords are optimized, you have the right search traffic coming in. Make sure you're getting those reviews, and sometimes you have to beg and plead for reviews because you want that kind of social feedback. You want people to stay in your application as long as possible. But another thing, like a huge thing, and this kind of comes like after you've already done, like you're happy with your keywords, you start to get a bit of traction. At that point, then you go through and translate it into other languages. And it's something to think about when you're coding your application, because you don't want to go in afterwards where you have like, say like you have something as simple as a label and you're hard coding the label title in there, right? You want to have that as a configuration variable someplace. And if you're using native Android, it would be the strings.xml. If you're using iOS, it would be info.plist, which would have all those translations in it. And if you're using something else, like Ionic or Cordova-based applications, I forget what the Cordova package was I used, but there's like several of them out there. And then like for like other things like Corona, I just use it myself. So we just have like a library, say get language, where you pass in the string like as a function. You pass in the variable name, and then it just says if it has it in the foreign language, then retrieve it. Otherwise, default to English, which is just you do that throughout your application. But that's the kind of thing you want to think about early on, because it is a pain to go through and redo everything afterwards. So. But a lot of people don't think about that in the beginning. In fact, that was my first application. Was like, okay, now I want to do it, now I want to do it in Chinese. Now I want to do it in Hindi, right? And it was, and then the developers were like, oh, we didn't know you'd want to do that, but because they weren't following like really good, like the standard coding practices. Byron Lovelace says, Eric is right. You should not respond to bad reviews in a combative way, no matter how dumb or unfair the user is, just to be fair and polite. Otherwise, you'll come across as badly to other users as arrogant. Yeah, and then also, I do think sometimes you could do that. Okay, so other books on my shelf, Byron, since we were talking about this earlier, was NLP books. And back in like 2002, 2003, when I started reading all this stuff about NLP, I've never been on a course. Well, I went on a Tony Robbins like seminar for a weekend, but like I've never actually been on a course, but I've read lots of books on it. And one of the things I used to like to do, because I was working at I was as a web developer at this small company in Reading, and they put me on the support desk. So not just like technical support, it was like all support. And it was like, so it was funny how somebody would call up and be really angry, and you could get them to be like, oh no, I was a bit upset. I probably overreacted or whatever. Really, thanks for sorting me out. And that's the thing. I mean, you definitely, if you go in with the assumption that, hey, this guy, whatever, he's just spent a couple dollars. He thinks that this is all fake, and it's not. That it's not. He's making accusations. He's blustering. He's like, he thinks he's been had, and all you have to do is say, hey, I totally understand you're upset. You don't have to say that. You can just say, hey, look, I want, because you do, as they're your users. They actually found your application. They actually said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna upgrade. I'm gonna buy this, and which is fantastic, right? It'd be like they're a guest of yours, and yeah, definitely do not be combative with it. I just, and Wasabi says, I know that one review got me when he called the app totally fake app. I know. Yeah. People say that on the video. So, clickbait. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh God, and it just. But other reviews get legitimate support and help, and usually change the rating to a 5-star. Yeah, I mean that's yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, I totally get it, Wasabi. But yeah, the thing is, you can still change that review, and it was only like from 4 days ago. Let's say Richard says, let's say you pay 30% taxes while working a normal job, and if you make 100, what? All right, so if you pay 30%, yeah, I'm not sure. All right, okay, here you said, ask it again. Let's say you make 30% taxes when working a normal job, and if you pay $100 from your app, Google takes 30%. Do we need to pay 30% in taxes, remaining $60? So it depends on the country that you're in. You definitely have to pay your income taxes, so it would show up on there. If you do it through a company, so for me, we have a company, so it goes through there. And again, I'm not a tax guy. I just know I have an accountant, and when it comes to Google, we do have to pay. We have to pay VAT on stuff when my accountant just hates it. But so you have to do the different VAT rates for different countries and everything. On the Apple side, Apple takes care of that, right? They have a lot more control. That gets set up a different way. So, but yeah, I mean, you do have to pay tax on your income. But ideally, if it goes into your company and those finances go to something else, like whatever, so that you're actually taxed on the amount of money that your profits. You're taxed on your profits or on your take home. Then that's there's so many different ways of doing it, but yeah, Google does take 30%, and you still have to pay the taxes. Yes, and the thing is, but it doesn't apply to this is a UK thing, so it doesn't apply to ad revenue, or at least they pay that part of it because it's so the way that it's done. So, let's see. Ayush says I emailed the you emailed it to me. Let's see if I can get in here. I'm not even logged in. All right, hang on a second. So we're gonna try to get this thing working for Ayush. So okay, all right, Ayush Pi. We're gonna have a look at this. See if we can open up my emails, which I don't like to do during the live stream because might get okay, I still don't have it. So yeah, sorry, Ayush. Really, I-18N? What is that? Let's see. Cord Funk 70. There's also VAT. Okay, cool. So yeah, so VAT's something that we pay on that kind of stuff. So, so yeah, good question, Ayush. I'm really sorry I wasn't able to get to that to have a look at your application here. I don't know why. Let's have one more look at my emails here and see if I could find. Maybe it went to spam. And then I think we're gonna call it a day. Okay, yeah, Ayush, I don't have anything in my inbox here. Are you sure? Okay, so everybody, hey, thanks very much for joining the live stream this week. It's been fun. We'll do it again next week. I'll try to get some videos out along the course of the week. I hope you guys stay healthy. I hope you say, Ayush, I'm checking the info email. I don't. It's just it didn't come through. What email address are you sending it from? I think it probably would be a case of, yeah, we have to have a look at this one next week, Ayush. I'm really sorry about it, but there's just I have no idea why I'm not getting the email, and I can't find the app there anywhere. But anyway, I hope you guys have I-18N internationalization. Yes, that was the one. That was the one we used. So and it was expo.io was the one that we were looking at before. Cool. So expo.io, I'll have to take a look at that. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining the live stream this week. So Theo, let's have a look at expo.io before we finish this. Let's see. We've got fastest way to build an app. Oh, okay, here we go. Expo in the browser. Oh, it's on GitHub. What language is it in? I probably should read that, like the first bit there. Oh, use React. Expo uses tools, services, and React. You can build. Cool. I'll have to check that out. Okay, cool. All right, so that's the live stream for this week. I hope you guys have a fantastic week ahead. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll do this again next week. If you send an email through again, we'll see if we can find it for next time. And anyway, that is it for today. I'll talk to you guys again next week. Stay fit, stay healthy. See you guys later.